Hi everybody, my name is Evangelina, but my friends call me VANGE TAPIA, and I've been invited by this great guy into his amazing show.
It's called Nuclear Popcorn, and she's made my day. You know, it's been very rainy, and she's brought the sunshine. Her and her husband, and they're allowing us to use her house for this incredible mind-opening excursion because she's definitely living the dream.
So anyway, I'm very happy to be here with Maurice, and he was asking me how I started into the acting industry.
Acting and everything. You're very diversified. How'd you get your start?
So I'm an actor, voiceover talent, and a producer. Everybody, my name is Evangelina, and my friends call me and know me as VANGE TAPIA. And I'm very excited because I've been invited by Maurice into his show.
Yeah, yeah. This show is called Nuclear Popcorn, and it's a conversational vehicle that I call it a poor man's Jimmy Kimmel. But we got an incredible artist here, and I just would like you guys to find out, and just take a peek into her life because she's living the dream. How'd you get your start?
So I'm an actress and a voiceover talent and a producer. And I started on my mid-late teens in commercials. Very interesting. One of my sisters, she was seen in a runway show. She was invited by a department store with my mom to come to this runway, and then an agent told my mom that my sister should be a model, which she's very pretty. And so she started modeling, and she was invited to an audition, and I went with her, just waiting outside for her to do her audition. And then I met this American guy, and he said, I'm looking for the bathroom. And then we became friends, and he's like, you should audition for my casting. I'm auditioning for a shower soap.
Zest.
Yeah, Zest. And I said, okay, I'll do it. Meanwhile, my sister was in the other room auditioning for her own thing, and she booked it, and I also booked mine. And this production company started to bring me in for different projects that they did. So I skipped the casting process many times. Or they had their own casting house inside, like it was like an in-house casting thing. And they will bring me in, and then they had this super cool project, 45 seconds monologue for a TV commercial for a telephone company, telecommunications. And that was it. That's how I started. My character was a preppy valley girl who speaks like that, like, oh my God, my dad.
Valley girl?
Yeah, it was totally valley girl. And then because of that show, that commercial went on national TV. A lot of producers and directors saw me, and then I started in TV, and I was doing TV shows. I was hosting as well for children back then. And then, so I did a lot of things. They introduced me to the voiceover world. So I was doing commercials. I was dubbing series, and that was it. Then there was a moment that I needed to go to college, and my mom told me, just have something solid that you can rely on in case the acting thing doesn't work, which I'm glad she did. So I studied tourism, and I didn't graduate. I didn't finish. And yeah, he wants me to show you the kind of guests that I had when I work in the hotel industry. So I became a hotel concierge, and I was helping as, well, I pretty much helped create the first concierge association, the Clay Door in Mexico. And I had a lot of movie stars, a lot of singers. One of them, in my very beginning, was Michael Jackson. And he gave me a book that he wrote. I'll show you in a moment. And he couldn't say Vange, which is the way to pronounce my name in Spanish. Vange is coming from Vange or Evangelina.
Means angel, right?
Not really. Evangelina, Evangeline. I think Evangeline is an American name created by Louisiana poet, a Longfellow, and he wrote a book called Evangeline. So Vange is a portion of Evangelina, and so then one of my guests as a concierge, he gave me a book. I'll show you who he is in a moment. This is when photo
This is
albums
Michael's?
were like that. And
Rachel?
and he called me Angel because he couldn't say Evangelina.
That's Michael
I
Jackson
think
himself.
you
Is
can
it
see
upside
the
down?
I think it's I don't know if you can see it like this, so it
Yeah.
doesn't it's not too shiny. So he called me Angel. I was Angel as Evangelina. He just took that portion, and I was like, no, I'm not an angel. I'm Evangelina.
Evangelion.
Anyway, so he gave me a book, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna put it in my photo album. So I chopped the page off.
Mm-hmm.
I had other.
And who's this?
This is the main singer of Marillion, Stephen Hogarth.
So now, when you were doing concierge work,
Concierge, yeah.
did that also help you with the show business?
No, not at
Also?
all. I was concierge. For those who don't know what concierge means, concierge in fancy hotels is the guy who's going to be next to reception,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to get everything you need for you. They're going to, like, if you need a, I don't know, hotel reservation,
Mm-hmm.
or you need dinner reservation in a fancy restaurant, which is very hard to get,
Mm-hmm.
or like you want to propose your girlfriend, or you want something special, they will get everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
And concierge is a French word, concierge. And back then in France, the concierge was the person who will, the key keeper, and they will just take care of the.
Kind of like a messenger type of.
But it wasn't quite the messenger. It was like the host of the house, of the castle, of the
So you
palace.
hold the key to the freaking whole
Yeah.
city.
Exactly. Well, from the castle and the palace, and those palaces and castles are right now fancy hotels.
Now, you didn't get any jobs through that for entertainment?
No, I was never searching for that. I was just very focused on my
I mean, just
concierge.
as a
Customer
accidentally?
service, let's say, was like my customer service. I met a lot of people, a lot of stars. We had in different hotels. I had Madonna, I had Kevin Bacon, I had someone asked me the other day. Once I had Kevin Bacon and his wife, and I was living in Los Cabos, Mexico, and it was a very high-end hotel, and we needed to reach out for all the clients, to all the future guests, because we were going to have a hurricane hit us.
Wow.
And we couldn't reach Kevin Bacon, so he showed up.
When you said hurricane, what was that other word?
Huracan. Huracan, hurricane. You know, we're going to be hit by a hurricane.
Oh, because when I grew up in South Carolina, sometimes we used to have hurricane parties. Because
No, this was a real hurricane, Mother Nature.
No, seriously.
Okay.
We never thought the hurricane was going to come because we always had these warnings, but no one took it seriously. So we'd have a hurricane, we have a hurricane party. And then it wasn't until Hurricane Hugo showed up that the hurricane really came. Yeah, we used to be party like 1999. Hurricane, get out of here. It's not going to come.
Oh my
So
God.
that's why. Yeah, all the time.
Well, I'm from Mexico City, so it's a big city. We never had hurricanes. So that's why I was like, oh, we're going to have a hurricane. And anyway, so Kevin came with his wife, and I was just like, hi, welcome to Los Cabos, Mexico. How am I going to tell him? How am I going to tell him? And the first thing he said is like, I'm like, Mr. Bacon, welcome. And he said, call me Mr. Tocino. So he referred to his wife, and he's like, Tocino means bacon in Spanish. Like the cool guy. And I'm like, oh my God.
Smile when you say that.
I'm so happy he has sense of humor, because we're going to have a hurricane tonight. And I was wondering if you need any help so I can arrange for your flight to send you back home. He's like, no, I'm staying. I'm like, no, this is serious. He's like, no, I'm staying. And thank God, no, there was no harm, just some roads.
Just a teaser.
And everybody, no, it was actually bad, but no lives were taken or anything.
Cool. That's cool.
And I remember the next day he rented a Jeep, and he told me, "Hey, Evangelina, how come there was a huge line at the gasoline station?" I'm like, "Because the roads are shut down, and we're not connected to any other cities because
Wow.
it was a big deal. I had to, none of our,
there.
yeah, I mean, none of the line
You guys are lucky.
employees came to work because the roads were shut down. So the official drivers from the hotel went and picked up all the managers. I was the chief concierge, I was the manager. So we all were cleaning, trying to put the hotel back in place.
But now let's get into your acting, because you told me some really incredible information about the director or producer of what's the movie, Roma?
Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah, you have a connection with him.
Well, back in Mexico, thanks to my commercial, the monologue as the preppy girl, I was invited to a lot of shows, and they will invite me to whatever my character as a guest star was, and they will require me to have a phone next to me, a telephone, or say out the expression "no inventes," which is like "no way."
Right.
So I was like putting "no inventes" expression into the.
So you kind of made that like a household term that everybody recognized you.
The "no inventes" girl.
From that. And you took it from different shows, and people, oh yeah.
They will, so then people can identify me as the girl of the "no inventes." And Alfonso Cuarón was one of them, for a TV show for national TV called Hora Marcada, which will be something like your time is up, your time is marked, how we would say, like someone's gonna die on the time marked. And it was a suspense series, and he was the director. He wrote it with his brother Carlos, and the cinematographer was also an award winner, as Alfonso himself, Emmanuel El Chivo Lubezki. And so I was the female lead for certain episode, which was No Retornable.
Cool. And now he won for, didn't he win a couple other, I think you were involved with other producers.
He just won
Oscar.
these past Oscars, Best Director. Well, Roma was nominated for 10 different nominations. He had 10 different nominations.
How many did he win?
He won 3.
Wow.
It won, incredibly, Roma was nominated for Best Movie and Best Foreign Movie. So twice. He won for Best Foreign Movie.
Oh, cool.
He won for Best Director, again, this is the second time he wins. And he previously won for Gravity. You remember him as Gravity. And
Tom Hanks, right?
No, Gravity. Remember we talked about it
Clooney
with Sandra Bullock and
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
Okay.
And then this past Oscars, he won Best Director, Best Foreign Movie, and Best Cinematography.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So now, do you guys keep in touch?
I just saw him in one of his screenings, but I don't really have I'm gonna swing by and have coffee or something like that. No, not really.
You're a better person than me, because I'd be knocking on the door. Remember me? Like, don't you recall? Blah blah blah.
Well, when I see him, he last time I saw him, he does remember me, and he gave me a big hug, and he was just like, oh my God, he remembers because it's been such a long time. And you know,
you were like a teenager.
Yeah. Well, I saw him in Gravity too, and I saw him in the Q&As. You know, we are SAG-AFTRA actors, so they invite you to Q&As and screenings, and he did that. And
well, who was your favorite?
He lives in London, so.
Oh, he's London guy. So is he from Mexico as well?
He's from Mexico City, yeah.
And when we were speaking earlier, I made like a thought, you know, like how when the British came, they said, oh, it's a British invasion. And I was thinking, is there now a Latino invasion of producers and actors coming like in groves, big talent, coming to America? Or is it just that they're blowing up in Mexico and it's reaching America? Or how would you categorize it?
Well, first of all, Mexicans, they didn't come to America because they were already here. remember,
Mhm.
this part, all the
was
southern
Mexico.
border was Mexico.
Mhm.
So they did not cross the border. The border crossed them.
Mhm.
And then second one, we don't call the U.S. America. America is a big continent divided in three subcontinents: North, Central, and South.
Mhm.
And in North America, you have Canada, United States, and Mexico. And yeah, Mexico, even though it's a Spanish-speaking country. That's why NAFTA, you know, North America Treaty Agreement.
Mhm.
And um, and yeah, it you said the invasion in a good way of cinema. Um,
Much like the Beatles, Rolling Stones. all
yeah,
that.
exactly. So those three, well, I'm just gonna speak for Mexico. The three big Mexican filmmakers are Alfonso
Toro.
Cuarón, Guillermo del Toro, who won last year for Shape of Water, and Alejandro González Iñárritu, who has won twice Best Director. On his movies have won as well for Birthman and The Revenant. So yeah, we have those three guys, and then Emmanuel Lubezki, he is the cinematographer. He won 3 times in a row the Oscar for Gravity, Birdman, and then The Revenant.
Now, are you connected with them as well?
I'm not connected with them. I mean, I've worked only with Alfonso and with Emmanuel, but
Again, I'll be on the phone. Is Alfonso?
No.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? Let's go have coffee. No, not really. No.
That's
I'm
probably
a
why
big
not.
fan.
That's probably why I'm not in a lot of movies because that's the kind of thing I would do. Hi, how are you going? Him again? No.
I know I should do that, but I guess I have a way to find them. But no, I
But you're pretty
can't
busy
approach them
without
like
doing that though.
Well,
And then also tell us about Slash.
the actor
'Cause,
Slash.
Yeah, we need to know about your group, Actor Slash.
So actor Slash, I was for the longest time I was traveling a lot. I was invited to host the Discover America channel, online channel for Discover America. Now they don't know, they don't call it Discover America now. It's Visit the USA, which is the tourism bureau of the U.S. And and then this is what they do. It's about tourism. So I was traveling all over the United States, promoting it, writing my own scripts.
So you're kind of like a journalist as well.
Yeah, like a travel journalist. And I was doing it among other actors who were hosting from different nationalities, from
Different venues,
it was
too.
very diverse. So from Germany, from China,
Sounds
from
exciting.
Japan. It was so cool.
Always up in
France,
the flat. Always flying.
England, Canada. So it was really good. And they brought me in for mostly for Spanish speaking countries.
Okay.
So I will be hosting and showing the U.S. in English, because that's the great thing about the United States. It's so it's a country founded of diversity. Everybody's an immigrant.
So which countries did you visit?
Well, this was specifically to promote the U.S.
Okay.
So I was hosting and promoting the U.S. But I do it with my husband on the side with Rolling Turistas, and we go everywhere. We go
Wow.
to France,
Wow.
we go everywhere.
Cool. Africa?
And I've never been in Africa. I would love to go to Africa.
Oh.
But going back to your question, in the Travel Channel line of Visit the U.S., we had visiting the U.S., we had all these diversity actors who were hosting, and we were filming the commercials, we were filming short films, in our trips, in our travels, and we discovered that we were doing more than just acting or hosting. We discovered that we were actually writing and producing a little bit, something. So we were actors slash producers slash writers. So I was like, hey guys, we should create a group, an organization supporting fellow actors who do more than just acting, who do more than just waiting for the big opportunity to fall from the sky and then just to, do more than just please book me, agent, send me this, but create our own opportunities. So this is how I came with the idea of actors with plural, actors, and then slash. And then it's been pretty good. So I was involved in another organization before, but it was only for Mexican filmmakers. And then I brought in other Spanish-speaking countries. But actor slash is more diversity.
Different races.
Again, different races, everybody in Hollywood. And it's been pretty good. We've been producing.
Well, it's
films
funny because
theater.
when I first saw it, I thought that you were with Slash, the guitarist from Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I know.
And then I thought that I looked at, wait a minute.
But it's not slash, it's actors
actors
slash.
Yeah.
Because
So
that
I'm
actors
kinda
slash producers. You'll see it on your screen. You can see it. Actors slash.
Yeah.
So follow us. and then that was the idea. And that's how I met him in the theater. He told me he's an actor, and right now doing this interview, you're creating an opportunity by you're giving me an opportunity. You're creating an opportunity for you by creating a show
And also giving
me
other people a chance to meet you.
Exactly.
So they can also have an opportunity to meet with you, learn from you.
Correct. So
Collaborate
that's the idea.
with you.
Exactly.
And speaking of collaboration, you've done a lot of voiceover, because I saw some of the films. There was an action film that I saw you in where you were doing the voiceover in Spanish.
I've done a lot, but I think the one that you're referring to is Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight, yeah.
That doesn't. That I think it was the number 2.
And then I saw you do children's. You even did a black child.
Black
so
boy.
You do a lot of stuff.
I can do boys, like male characters, but they have to be infants, like little. I wouldn't be able to do like a grown-up.
What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
So now, how do you get your start in voiceovers? And do you sing also?
With I do not sing. With the commercial that I told you, the No Inventes, that telephony, the telephone company, they brought me in for commercials for voiceover too.
Very cool.
And then from there, they brought me. One thing led to the other one.
Cool.
That's how I got my start.
Yeah. So, when you were in college, you said your mom told you to do something other than acting. What was your major in college?
My mom is into tourism. She's a real tourism journalist. And she's been traveling and waiting her whole life. And she has a virtual magazine called Notisatélite Turístico. So a lot of us were doing tourism, and we're really good with people. I'm a person of people. So she just told me, okay, if acting doesn't go well, you better have something else
to fall back on.
And then I started studying tourism. And I went to Puerto Vallarta, and my dad was more like, go into your languages. You need to communicate, and because you travel.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 4.
Wow. What's the other ones?
English, Spanish, French, and Italian.
Wow.
Italian conversational, but I can, as my dear friend Tanya says, I can probably put up some lines to charm people.
Very cool.
In Italian, yeah.
So now, are you working on any screenplays or?
I am writing. I'm very excited.
writer.
I'm writing 2 feature films.
Oh.
It's gonna take me forever, but I will finish. And
I think you got your heart in one of them, because you kind of breathed it and lived it for a second. You were thinking about it. And
it's just that I wrote it. I wrote one about 15 years ago, almost 16 years ago. I wrote it, but I'm not a writer. I'm not a script writer, say. So then I went to Alfonso Cuarón's office in Mexico City, and one of the development guys, Luis, he said, well, if you write something, come and bring it to me. So it took me a whole year to write a script, and in the end, I left it for good. I decided not to follow on that, and I didn't bring it to him or anything, to his Allegro Productions company back then. So I just put it in a drawer. But lately I've been connecting a lot of people. Actually, that's something that I like to do a lot. I connect people through actors slash or connecting slashers, as I like to say it. And then what I do is I bring people in to studios, or I try to to organize mixers so people can like, okay, I have a
It's like a
camera
marketplace.
to do like a collective. Yeah, everybody in the entertainment industry. And
As you did with the Oscars.
yeah, so I did an Oscar viewing party, you know, and I brought only people from the entertainment into a into a big recording studio. And then that studio helped, in that studio they said, oh, well, I'm in need of these actors. Does anybody do these voices? I need a person who does this and that and la la. And then he hired a couple of people,
Very cool.
brought them in. But that was the idea. So writing, I'm like, if I'm doing this for others, I should do it for myself. So I just took that script that I wrote 15, 16 years ago and I'm redoing it again, because when you write something and then see it 15 years later, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I wrote that. So I'm doing some adjustments and then I'm starting to write another one as well. This past year, I produced some short plays, co-produced. Otherwise, the director is going to freak out and say, no, you did not produce it, you co-produce it. And then I brought in a couple actors into that. I've been invited to be a judge in these festivals. I'm a big supporter of festivals. I think they are great windows for actors to perform and to showcase what they can do.
Very cool.
And that's what I'm doing right now. In fact, we're promoting a short film that started as a short play. It's called Therapy.
And it's won awards already, hasn't it?
It won 2 awards so far, the Panama Award and another one in Venezuela. And the director, Jonathan Tavares, he's a great actor, but he decided to go as a director for this project and brought in some friends. So it was like a collective of talent. So I was an actor, but I wasn't acting in this short film. I was helping in the production. We all ended up doing things like, okay, I'll hold the clipboard and I'll go get this and that. We were doing everything. And then the short film came out pretty well. It was just very good. And I'm going to bring in some actors into the Baja California Film Festival, which is happening in June. So I'm very excited. I'm going to do a screening on the 28th of March at the Mexican consulate with some actors slashers. We're going to have a short film we're going to have 5 different short films created by actors / producers / writers. So these actors actually wrote them and produced them. Some of them directed. And Therapy is one of them from Colombia. Then we have another one from Algeria.
Algeria?
Algeria, yeah. Anwar Smay. He's a great actor and he wrote it, directed, produced it, and he acts on it. And he's been in Russia. He's been taking his short film everywhere. He's a great, great actor, and the short film is fantastic.
Wow.
It's about 20 minutes short film, but the other ones are like less. Then we have Andrea Martina from Switzerland. She's going to be presenting Passion Avenue. She wrote it.
Sounds good.
And everything. Yeah, so a lot of great actors going to be there. I'm very excited. A Mexican girl, Kiara Beltran. She's going to have Together Again. She's going to be showcasing that. And then it's going to be pretty cool. There's another guy, American, his short film is called American Nightmare.
American Nightmare.
Jesus Nevat. So I'm very excited.
Yeah. So it sounds like you are indeed living the dream. We were talking briefly about horror films. Did you say you don't like them or you do like them?
I do like them. I just can't handle it. I'm probably the perfect client for them if they want to scare people. I'm just like, oh my God. Like Hora Marcada, the show that I did with
the boyfriend
Alfonso
that got
Cuarón.
displaced?
Yeah, with Alfonso Cuarón.
So
that was a suspense.
Did they finally get you or do you escape?
No, I made it. I was the only one who survived. But when you see the show, it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
So what's that term
But I
you
was
said?
filming.
Marked?
Hora Marcada.
No, that wasn't that film, was it? That was just,
That's not
that was
film.
the
It's a
telecommunication.
TV. No.
That's kind of like the hook that you put in people's head that they
Yeah,
know
Hora
you.
Marcada is a TV show, and they brought me in because of my commercials for the telecommunications.
But it seemed like that should have somehow been in that horror film because everybody's time was definitely marked.
Yeah,
You just happened
so it's
to
a time
get
mark.
away.
It's everybody's time mark. Yeah, they should do
What's
those
that term
shows
again?
again.
Hora Marcada?
Hora Marcada. Marked.
Hora Marcada?
Marcada.
Marcada?
Yeah.
Hora Marcada.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, so you're kind of, you have a lot of stuff, a lot of things happening in your life.
Yeah. I
What
wish
would
I
you-
could do more. I wish
was just gonna
days
ask
were
you.
more.
I was going to ask you, what more would you like to do?
I think I just can't wait to finish my scripts and do it, because that will be my first film that I write and I start on it. I don't think I will direct it. I'm not a director. I have directed short films, but no, this is definitely for someone like a big one.
Can you give us a little teaser as to what it might be about, or?
No, no, because no, I've been reading books about. First, I might change the name and the plot a little bit. So until I don't have it done,
What's the genre?
it will be. There's two of them. So one is about a woman who doesn't cry. She's cold and she doesn't cry.
Oh, okay.
And
I know a woman like that. She claims she cries. I don't think so.
no, this one doesn't cry. She cries dry tears. And
She's like,
yeah, and so she reunited. She reunites with someone on her past, and then he discovers that she's the tough one. But there's a reason behind. And then the other one is, which is in the early stages. It's about a woman who gets stuck in Los Angeles for 24 hours on a layover, and then she meets these two strangers. She becomes friends with them, and they are showing her around and all that, and they give her a package, and in the end she realizes that it wasn't a coincidence. They actually chose her, and that thank you present, it's actually a package. So then she has to discover why they chose her. And of course, there's a reason why and what's in the package.
cool.
So those are the two stories that I'm working on.
I like it. Sounds almost Twilight Zone-ish. Yeah.
Well,
Were you
the
a fan
second
of Twilight
one,
Zone?
I'm open to it, but I'm not like really a fan because I don't know much about it. Maybe I should. It's like what I was just telling you. Like we were talking about who should have won the best movie in the Oscars, for instance. I have not yet seen the Green Book, so I cannot tell you if it was the right choice or not. I believe that if they won, it's because they were the right choice. But until I don't see it, I cannot have a personal opinion. So it's the same with like weird zones and those things. If I'm not familiar with the genre, I can't really talk much about it because I don't have an opinion yet.
Well, the way that I see Green Book, right, is that SAG members must have voted it in, right? Because that's how it got chosen,
for the
right?
Oscars, it has nothing to do with the SAG.
Oh.
But it will be actually the Academy people. But the members from the